Hey everybody, welcome to Art with Mr. G. Today we are going to be doing a 1-point perspective. So I'm going to get my camera set up and we're going to go ahead and get started. 1-point perspective has one vanishing point in the middle of the paper. So we're going to go ahead and find the middle of the paper or real close to it. Don't go over here. Try to find the middle of the paper and just put one dot in the middle, and that's going to be very important. That's going to be your vanishing point. So every line that you draw from there, from here on out, is going to go back to the vanishing point. So that's what's going to make the perspective. That's what it's going to make it look like the objects that we draw are going back in the distance. So let's start out with something simple. We'll start out with a square. So right up here, real carefully, we're going to draw a square right at the top of the paper, and the paper should be horizontal in front of you. It works either way, but horizontal is an easy way to start out. So we're just going to draw a square, and I'm making this square green, and then the lines that I'm going to connect are going to go right to the vanishing point. So I'm going to go to each corner of the square, and I'm going to hold my ruler, and I'm going to make it go right to the vanishing point. If you hold your ruler with more than just one finger, it's easier to make it real steady. So we're going to trace right there. And now that looks like that square has turned into a rectangular prism going back to the vanishing point. And we're going to color these in later, but I'm going to use different colors for each one. You should start out with a pencil. Just in case you make a mistake, you can erase it. I'm confident that I'm not going to make mistakes, but I certainly might. We're going to do another square. This time I'm going to make it a little different. On the bottom, I'm going to make it into a diamond. That way we're going to see more than just two lines going to the vanishing point. So I'm going to make a square like this. This time I'm using red. And that's like a square. And then now I've got this corner is going to connect to the vanishing point. And this corner will connect. And this third corner will connect. Now you might be saying, what about this corner? If we connect this corner, it goes through the solid block, just like these ones up here would have gone through it. So we don't see those lines. We don't have to draw those. Let's switch colors. And we'll go with blue this time. And we'll get a couple other colors out. And over here, I'm going to make a circle. So you can get something circular and trace it, or you can just imagine that there's going to be a circle here. And I'm going to do this real neatly. It helps me to visualize that circle if I practice a little bit first. And then I'm just going to do my best. I'm going to try to make this look like a circle. Now a circle, it's a little bit tougher to draw the lines because you've just got to hold the ruler on the vanishing point again, and then you got to move it so that the ruler goes right to the edge of the circle. And then you can trace that side, and then you can do the same with the other side. Hold it right there at the edge of the circle, right here, and you trace that back to the vanishing point. Everything is going to the vanishing point, and it's going to look like these objects are going back into the distance. Let's do something else. Let's do a star. That might be interesting. We'll do a star right here. So a star is going to look like this. It's got one triangular shape, and then it's got two lines that go straight out from each other, and then it's going to make another diagonal. And I always look at this would continue right down here. And all of these lines should be about the same, and then we have another triangular. And then this one's going to come right at that other one. And where this line comes down, and then where this line comes across, you imagine that, and you've got a pretty nice star. Then we've got a lot more lines that are going to connect to the vanishing point. So we're just going to real carefully line them up and connect. One. Now this one right here doesn't really connect, but the point of the star does. Right here, that'll be a straight line to the vanishing point. This inside corner will connect. And this outside corner connects as well. Okay, now there's also at least one of these that are going to connect, but this from this corner here, we're not going to go all the way back because we'll go through this part of the star. So we're just going to go right to there, and we're going to stop. And all these other corners, we're not going to have to draw a line for. So that's the star going back into the distance right there. Pretty cool. What we'll do when we color these in is we'll take shades of the purple and we will color each, and I'm going to do this quickly because we're going to run out of time. Each one of these shapes that go back into the distance, we're going to color in a different shade of whatever color we're using. In this case, it's purple, so this is going to be this darker purple, and then the other ones I'll do with maybe a lighter purple. Here's a real light purple. That might look good on this one here. We'll do that, a light purple, and that just makes it look more interesting when it's all done. So again, I'm going to do this real quick. Normally I would take my time much more than this, but I'm trying to make this video shorter. And if I'm going too fast, again, you can pause the video and catch up, or look at it more than once if you need to, if you're not sure on what you're doing. So we've got some room for other shapes as well. I like the shape of a heart. Let's try a heart. So the heart is going to have one letter C, and then on the other side try to make it exactly the same. There's a heart. So we've got to go to the outside of this curve and make that go to the vanishing point. It always goes to that middle vanishing point. Why do they call it a vanishing point? Because when something goes back into the distance far enough away, it gets so small that you can't see it anymore. That's called the vanishing point. So imagine if you're looking at a tree and you're standing right next to a tree, it's really big. But if you see that tree from a couple hundred yards away, it looks really small. And if you see it from miles away, it might not even, you can't even see it anymore. So it's vanished at that point. So there's our heart. When you shade a curve, like on a circle or on a heart, you have to shade it a little differently. So I'm going to use a red because this heart is kind of red, and I'm going to shade the sides darker, and then it's going to fade. This is where I've got to ease up on the pressure that I push down, and then I'm going to ease up and try to make that lighter in the middle. See how I'm not pressing as hard there? I've got a little line in my table that makes a little texture impression. And maybe I can make it a little darker on the inside here as well. Alright. Again, I don't want to take too much time coloring. But now it looks a little bit more like it's curved because you've got a highlight, you've got the reflection of light on the curved surface. The flat surfaces are easier to color, you just can color them in solid color. But the curved surfaces here, you're going to want to shade like I just did there. So we'll make another easy shape. Let's make a triangle. And again, we'll just find some room here. And we'll draw a triangle. And we'll connect those to the vanishing point. I'll start with the one in the middle. And I'll go to this side. And then I'll go to this side. Hold it steady. Press down with the ruler with more than a couple fingers, and it'll stay in place. And then we can color that in as well. So this is a 1-point perspective. I can do a letter, like for my name. That would be a fun thing to do. Let's see if I can do that in orange. My first name is John, so I'm gonna make a letter, capital letter. I'm gonna make it a block letter. So this is the top line of a J, but instead of making it a line, I make it a rectangle. So I give it some shape. And then here's the curved line that goes down like this. I will just curve it like this. Again, try to keep the thickness of the letter the same. I've got letter J. So now I will connect these to make it look like this J is a solid form going back into the distance. And this one might have to stop about there before it gets to the vanishing point. Uh-oh, I just got some black on there. And then this one goes to the vanishing point. And this corner here is going to go towards the vanishing point, but then it's going to stop right there. And then we got to go to the edge of this J down here. I know this gets a little confusing. This is usually a project for older grades, but give it a try. And if you keep the shapes really simple, it'll be a lot easier for you. And again, we can use different shades of the orange if you have colored pencils or crayons or markers. It works to color this in. So I think I'll make this one the same because it's coming from the same direction. And then we can do some lighter, maybe some darker. Maybe the one on the inside will be a little darker, like a reddish orange. And maybe the one on the outside will be lighter, like a yellow orange. And again, that gives it a little more interest. This one's got a little bit of a curve to it, so we'll make this darker on the outside and lighter as it gets towards the inside, like that. Darker and then lighter. That looks pretty cool. All right, I'm going to stop there because we're going to run out of time. Guys, happy Friday. Have a great weekend. I will do more of these. Look for more, and thanks for following along. I miss you guys in class. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.